Did you know that feeling happy is a skill? And you can train yourself to feel happier more often. What are the things that we're doing these days that is making us less happy? Hi friends, my name is Connie. Welcome to my video, 9 things I stopped doing to make myself feel happier. For those who don't know me, I'm a mother of 2 boys and a serial entrepreneur. Now let's dive into today's video. That brings me to the very first thing that I stopped doing to make myself feel happier: comparing myself to others. We have access to so much information through social media these days. We can always see so many things that are far ahead of us that we can't even attain. The huge mansions, the fancy cars, the exotic vacations. When I realized it's not fair for me to compare myself to others, I freed myself from this mindset and this old habit. When I was growing up, there was a lot of pressure for me to do well academically. I even associated achievement or the end result with happiness. If I didn't rank so well on this exam, if I wasn't top 10, then I don't deserve to be happy. If I didn't get a good job like the other people have, I shouldn't feel happy. All those ways of thinking trapped me for so many years and took the joy away from me. Comparison is the thief of joy. The second thing I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to say yes right away. I've got into such a habit in the past that a lot of times when my family or friends are asking me to help them with something or to go out to do something, I just wanted to say yes. Perhaps I feel the pressure to say yes, or perhaps I already got into a habit of saying yes. However, I realized that a lot of times I might be overcommitting myself. I'm not really thinking enough and see that this request or this invitation from a friend or family, how does it fit into my life and how does it fit into my priorities? Because I didn't have a habit of thinking that, I often want to please other people right away and I say yes. But once I'm committed, I trapped myself into this commitment, and later on I realized perhaps I double booked myself, perhaps I didn't plan my date very well, but I don't want to disappoint other people. I'm a person of my word. Then I am forcing myself to do things that perhaps I don't even find joyful, or perhaps this favor will really put me into a bad situation, or perhaps I can't really help, but just because of the peer pressure for me to say yes, I committed myself, and later on I realized I actually cannot do it. Perhaps I'm really not capable. Maybe I really overestimated myself and my abilities. But then I'm too shameful to tell my friends or family, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore. Because I was worried that they may not like me anymore. How did I stop this habit? Is by pausing. Whenever people ask me these days if I can help them with certain things, I pause and I let them know, let me check my calendar, and then I'll get back to you. This pause is so powerful that really is so responsible for myself and the people that's asking for help or sending us an invitation. because that gives me enough time to look into my schedule, to check my priorities, to see, should I really be doing this? Does it really fit into my priorities? Am I really capable of committing to this event or to help other people with this task? This time, I started to avoid disappointment for others. I cancel less things. I am happier because I take control of my time better. I'm no longer trapping myself to constantly doing things that really puts me into a bad position. What you don't do determines what you can do. The third thing I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to live other people's dreams. For so many years, I never really thought about what my dream life is. What do I truly desire? How my life should be. But a lot of times I was influenced either by social media or by family to tell me, you should live your life this way. When I'm seeing a post on social media, it seems that they have these wonderful things. Seems like they look really happy. Then perhaps and perhaps I tell myself, if I had that, that will make me happy too. However, after so many years of trying and learning my mistakes, all the lessons I learned along the way, everybody is different. I had to take the time to think about who I am as a person, what I value the most, and what is truly my desired life. After I have clarity on what it is that I want, then I started to design my dream life. When I see great things happening to other people, I feel really happy for them. But do I feel sad because I don't have such experiences or things? I don't anymore. Because I truly know that what I want. I'm no longer feeling the living loss. I'm just getting by day, doing things that I can't even get up early for. Once I start living the life that I want, I have motivation. I have passion again. I'm having fun again. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. The fourth thing I stopped doing to make myself happier is to stop focusing on the negatives. If I see a bowl of water that is not full, would I describe it as it's half empty, or would I say it's half full? If I had continued to focus on what I don't have, then I'm trapping myself in a negative mindset, constantly looking for what I'm lacking. And I'm also overlooking what I currently have. By just simply switching this mindset, by not focusing on the negatives, the friendship I have, the loving families that I have, and all the wonderful things that I have experienced. When I'm socializing with others, I don't focus on what others are lacking. I focus on what can I learn from them, what positive energy that they bring to me. Perhaps it's just a wave, perhaps it's just a good morning, or maybe a smile from a stranger. Those acts of kindness can really warm my heart. Dwelling on the negative simply contributes to its power. The number 5 thing I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to stop feeling guilty when I looking after myself. For so many years, I prioritized my work, I prioritized my family members, but I had neglected myself. The work is important, even though maybe I'm not feeling very well. It's more important to get the items that my family needs before what I need. And it really caused me burnt out quite a few times. I should not have felt guilty if I just simply wanted to take a break. Or if I'm not feeling very well, I deserve to go for a walk. I deserve to take a little break. And realizing that work will never end. Once I realized that I should not feel guilty to look after myself first. Because if I don't look after myself, then I'm not going to feel well. Then I can't go to work. I can't provide for my family, and I cannot look after them. And if I'm sick, maybe my family have to look after me. Then that totally defeats the purpose of me trying to prioritize them first. After I realized I should prioritize my health first, and I should not feel guilty about it. If you don't love yourself, nobody will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anyone else. Loving starts with the self. The number 6 item I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is seeing myself as a victim of my past. I had made many mistakes in my past. For example, my first marriage ended with a divorce. I learned from my past mistakes. How do I get along with people better? What mistakes that I learned from my past that can help me improve and be a better person? After I made my mistakes, I told myself that I have a choice. I can choose not to make the same decision again that led to perhaps not the best outcome. I have a choice. I always have a choice. Next time when I face a similar situation, I learn from my past. I can choose differently because I have a choice and I'm capable of making a different choice. The 7th item I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to stop emphasizing on the results. I should not be focusing so much on the end result. Instead, I need to focus on the action, the process, and the journey. Don't be embarrassed by your failures. Learn from them and start again. For example, last summer, I went on a hike with a couple of friends. I really wanted to go to this peak that I have never been to. However, it was such a hot day and it's actually longer than I had anticipated. It made it so much harder. When we got to the first peak, there was still a very long way away to go to the second peak that I wanted to go. That was the goal I set for that day. After hiking for another half an hour, I had decided that I'm not going to go and make it to the second peak because it really started to get very steep and the heat was really taking a toll on me. If I simply just focus on the end result is I didn't go to the peak that I wanted, this whole hike would be meaningless to me. However, there were so many memories that was created. We still enjoy beautiful scenery in the summer It was such a beautiful day with the sunshine, and we saw cute little chipmunks on the mountain. Just because I didn't achieve my goal to go to the second peak, that doesn't mean that I did not enjoy the hike itself, the time that I spent with my friends.
Every success story is a tale of constant adaptation, revision, and change.
The eighth thing I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to stop telling myself I can't. Sometimes we are faced with so many challenges in life. It might be something that we have never tried or we have no experience of. If I simply tell myself, no, I can't do it because I've never done it before, then that would take so many opportunities for me to learn and improve and grow as a person. Instead of telling myself I can't, now I ask myself the question, how? How can I do it? How did the other people do it? I allow myself the time to learn perhaps a new skill, or perhaps even to gather the courage for myself to put out my first step. Once I retrain my brain to think differently, I really focus on the problem, which is, no, I can't, to how can I do it? What does it take for me to accomplish that? That opens up so many possibilities for me to achieve much, much more and to try many different things that maybe I thought I was not capable of in the past.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
The last thing I stopped doing to make myself feel happier is to stop overlooking the present. I am always a person who loves planning, and a lot of times I love to plan the future. I love to plan trips. I love to plan for my goals. All these planning made me overlook what I am doing now. A typical example, I used to look at my phone when I'm eating my lunch. Then a lot of times I am preoccupied my mind with something that I wanted to do after I get off work. That really made me overlook the present moment. I could have used that time to enjoy my food that I prepare for myself, to really savor the flavor. I could also use that time to socialize with my coworkers and ask them how they're doing, what did they do on their weekends. Instead, I used my phone, pre-engaging my brain to something that hasn't happened. And that really made me overlook the present. That really made me overlook the joy that I could have right now at the present moment.
Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for your life to begin and start making the most of the moment you are in.
After I made myself aware of these 9 things that I was doing that really took away joy from me, it opened up so many more possibilities. It really helped me to learn how to feel happier. I can feel happy every single day. I don't have to start working to feel happy. I don't have to go on a vacation to feel happy. I don't have to achieve my goal, then I feel happy. Happiness should never be conditioned by your achievement or your goals. We can learn how to feel happier along the way.
I would love to hear what you stopped doing to feel happier.
If you had enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel for future updates on the lessons I've learned on my self-growth journey. Thank you, and I will see you next time.